Hey everybody, it's Mr. Garrett and Mr. Terrence here with another live stream for Naked and Famous Denim. Thanks for tuning in. We got a good show for you today. I think it's going to be lots of fun. Just Terry and I. Mr. Brandon, he is away off in France, in Paris at the Man-Woman show. So if you happen to be in Paris and you're going to the Man-Woman show, go say hi to Brandon's there, Tammy's there, Sandro there. They're all at the booth, so definitely drop in and say hello. You can go check out the Fall Winter 25 collection that they're showing right now.
Yeah, you'll see.
Actually, maybe not right now. Right now, they're probably asleep.
Yeah, zombies.
Because it's going to be, what is it? Would it be the 12 p.m., 12 a.m.
Like something like that, yeah.
In France right now? Anyways, but tomorrow, go visit them. Let's see who's tuning in the chat. We have BD, Canadian Penny, Claude, Solvents, people from Scotland, New Jersey, Quebec City, Florida, DC in the house, Illinois, Missouri. Oh, Solvent says it's 1 a.m.
1 a.m.
Shout out from London. Do you mean London, England, or London, Ontario?
You said London on.
Oh, London on. Okay, so Ontario. But it was lowercase.
Yeah, London, Ontario. Just west of Toronto.
London, Ontario. California and San Antonio. Well, thanks, everyone, for tuning in. We love having you here, of course, and let's have a good time. But before we get into all of the show, all the cool, fun items that we're going to talk about, hit the like button. Ka-chunk, just hit that like button. We got a few people in the chat right now watching. A few people, so definitely hit the like button. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Maybe you're watching this later. Maybe you're watching this 10 years later. Maybe you're watching
this in
the
future,
100 years later. Maybe you're an alien in space watching our show on YouTube. And if you are, thank you very much. Okay, so Terry, what are we drinking today?
We're drinking the same thing here. We got the good old-fashioned Canada Dry. Nothing too special. It's just ginger ale, people.
I will admit, my stomach was not feeling super amazing today. So I ordered a pizza for Terry and I, and they had a little promo where you could get some sodas. Pops, as we refer to it in Canada.
Yeah, nothing like a little bit of Domino's to settle the stomach.
I got the veggie pizza.
Yeah, you got the veggie pizza
because I wanted to make it light with the American or with the New York thin crust. Anyways, so we got the Canada Dry, which I think Americans know what Canada Dry is, right?
Of course they do. Of course they do.
Ginger ale, very good, helps settle the stomach a little bit. So, yeah, some sody pops.
Got the soda pops.
I know what you're referencing there, sody pops.
Pop, soda, fizz.
But of course, I always have on deck a little bit of water in the milk glass mug. This is my favorite design, by the way. Actually, you know what? My favorite is the jadeite one, but we don't have those in stock yet. But they're coming. They're coming back. So if you missed out on the jadeite, you'll have another chance.
Coming back.
And then speaking of Paris and Brandon and the Man-Woman show, I just wanted to give you guys one final reminder that next week, from Tuesday to Thursday, I, myself, Brandon, Tammy, Sandro, of course the New York boys are going to be there. We're going to be down in New York for the Man-Woman show in New York, and we're going to be having a party on Wednesday. I believe it's the 29th. I posted the story. 7 o'clock, 7 p.m., come to the New York store, say hi. We're going to have Japanese beers. I'm trying to get a whole bunch of different beers.
Yeah, I saw you writing a shopping list there.
Yeah, I have a big shopping list. I'm trying to get a 100-liter cooler with ice. We're going to have Japanese beers. I'm trying to get a bunch of Japanese whiskey, Japanese snacks. So, yeah, definitely come by, have some drinks, chat denim.
Free beer in New York City.
Free beer.
New York City at the shop.
Bring your friends. Come see the Fall Winter 25. If you're in New York, you shouldn't be anywhere else except for Wednesday night, 7 p.m., 123 Grand Street. Come say hi. And I'm going to bring the microphones and all that, and probably my iPhone, and shoot some interviews. So if you want to get on the mic and tell us about your love for denim, maybe you could be featured on the YouTube channel. So there you go.
Cool.
So next up, Terry, oh, you know what? Let's just hop in the chat real quick and see what else people are drinking, if they have any questions. By the way, if you guys have questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. We love answering your questions and, going off the rails, so to speak, and talking about whatever you guys want to talk. So,
All right, from the
Firearms USA, he's having some Jim Beam.
I know he's definitely a big bourbon man.
He's a bourbon man.
Yeah.
I also enjoy a little bit of bourbon from time to time. And I don't know how to say it. Anodine, he says, Domino's will wreck you. No, not this Domino's. This Domino's down the street, it's very good, actually.
Yeah,
There's something about this Domino's that normally I wouldn't say so, but this Domino's, they do a really good job.
Yeah, with fast food franchises, you just kind of like, it's not always like they try to be the same. That's the whole idea behind them. But I mean, you got to choose like a favorite branch, and like, everyone's got their favorite location of a particular burger chain or whatnot.
Yeah,
I've got mine.
Burger King's. Oh man, like I have
great or awful.
The one down the street from here, awful.
Dreadful.
But I can think of two in BC that are just amazing. Like you go to those burgers, it's good every single time. So it's really bizarre. Anyways, he also mentioned any made in Japan banner soon.
Ooh.
You must be Canadian.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yes, I think the banners should be received soon. They're here.
They're here.
So soon the banners will be
country.
Soon. Canadian Penny says, speaking of drinks, any chance you can talk more about the upcoming coffee dyed denim? What coffee dyed denim? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. I'll let Brandon talk about it.
Yeah, there's gonna be stories.
I think it's a medium roast.
I actually
don't drink the jeans.
I saw the sample sheet there, and it looked like it was a drink menu. It was quite funny, with different types of choices. A lot of fun. I wish I could show that.
Yeah, I'll wait till Brandon comes back because it's more his project.
Yeah, I think it's one of his babies.
Yeah, I can tell you a little bit of gossip if you want about the coffee.
I think we should share that story.
It's kind of funny. So we have
like a bit of real life, yeah.
Well, you guys want to know the dilemmas, the trials and tribulations we go through? Yeah. I bet you do. So I'll tell you what happened today is we didn't get a whole lot of the coffee dyed denim for sampling, and it came in very late. So basically it came in at the very last minute. We ran it upstairs, made a sample real quick. We only had enough fabric to make one sample. So we basically have one swatch of fabric and one sample, one full pair of jeans, and they accidentally made it too short also. Or maybe there just wasn't enough fabric. But anyways, the inseam is like crazy short. It's like 27-inch inseam.
Like capri pants.
So it looks very short. But anyways, one of our people, Sandra, who does the wholesale, he put it in his suitcase to bring with him to Paris. And guess who lost their suitcase in the airport?
It's gone.
So yeah, the jeans are MIA.
They're somewhere between Montreal and like Charles de Gaulle. Yeah, Charles de Gaulle Airport.
They could be somewhere else because sometimes they just stick it on the wrong plane and it goes over to Dubai or wherever. So who knows where those the only pair of coffee dyed jeans.
Yeah. So if you were in Paris and you did go to Man Woman Show and you wanted to see the coffee denim at our booth, you're out of luck.
Yeah, and you might not be able to see it in New York unless it gets recovered. But fingers crossed that the coffee dyed sample is recovered and we can show it, because it is a little bit of a bummer when you can't show.
It was a big push for it, a big rush, and the luggage got lost. So I imagine, like, I have this idea, this vision of people in the future bringing our samples to trade shows, like in locked briefcases with handcuffs around your wrist and stuff there, sitting like on your lap for the entire flight.
Yeah. Well, ideally we like just ship it there, and shipping is generally like, of course, stuff gets lost. UPS, FedEx, whoever, they do lose stuff on occasion, but for the most part.
Yeah, maybe less than an airport.
It's very little, very little.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
I know someone liked my T-shirt. Let's go take real quick. We have these for sale. This is our circulating tee in heather blue.
I think these are discontinued, by the way. So if you want these,
discontinued, they're gone.
There's no more left.
No, we have some. That means like there's no more.
Once they're gone, they're gone. This color blue, the heathered blue, it's discontinued. So if you like that color, if you want Terry's shirt, you gotta buy it now, because once they're gone, and that's it.
Chat seems.
How's the coffee game in the Naked Famous Denim's break room? Well, there's no real break room, to be honest. Actually, we don't even have a break room. You know why? We never take a break, because
Yeah.
we're working so hard for you guys. So there is no break room.
We've got like an alcove.
But in my old office, where now Vincent and one of our pattern maker works, we have a little pour over set up there. So we have our kettle to boil the water. We have, I don't know, what pour over thing do we have? It's plastic.
We just got a regular old
You know what? I'll just
plastic-
go get it and show you guys.
A plastic V60, a little carafe, a basic scale, and a basic grinder, and we just kind of make do with what we have there, and it's pretty good. And whatever beans that happen to make our way to the shop, we'll just kind of roast them up there. That's that. Aside from that, if like I can't be bothered to use the coffee setup to make a fancy coffee, I'll take some of that Taiwanese like TNT instant 3-in-1 coffee with like the sugar, the creamer, and the coffee powder. Put it in my mug next to the water cooler with the hot water function. It's get a quick shake for a lazy hot drink. Oh, but yeah, so someone didn't clean it up. That was me.
So, you may recognize
I was gonna say, I got waves hi to Givenchy first.
Jovan's in the chat. Hey,
Hey
Jovan.
Givenchy.
Everyone, thank Jovan. He's
Yeah,
a good
he's
guy, and he's shipping out all the wholesale orders. So if you ever bought anything from one of our retailers,
He's a hero.
So anything not from well, even Tatinoka, he kind of packages up. Basically, if you own a pair of jeans, it's probably passed through Jovan's hands. So
His hands have touched him.
So big shout out to Jovan.
Thanks, Jovan.
Anyways, so everything starts with the coffee. This is my big bag of coffee here.
Number one.
1D. This coffee comes from my friend Matt. And you guys know who Matt is, actually. You don't know who he is, but you've seen him.
You've seen
He
him.
helps me model sometimes in the photos. So I don't know how to describe Matt. But anyways,
a skinny fellow.
yeah, you definitely know Matt. He's a skinny guy, and he wears our jeans in some of the photos and videos. And he works for a coffee company, like a big coffee company here in Montreal, but it's very good stuff. And so I texted him. I was like, hey, we're out of coffee. Can you bring me some? He's like, okay. So he brought us this huge bag of coffee, and I'm like, all right, what is this?
Generic, like.
And he told me basically what this coffee is coffee used for testing people's palates. So when they run a competition, because this place that he works for also does Canadian Championship coffee stuff and all that. When they run a competition for tasting, they use this coffee as like kind of like a baseline,
A benchmark,
like a benchmark, so that people have to like taste the notes and do that. So it's not a competition coffee in that sense, but it's a tasting competition.
You'd say a benchmark coffee for competition.
Smell that. Smells a lot like coffee.
It's pretty good. It is pretty good.
I can show you guys.
It's a lighter roast, as it should be there. They're not going to be able to see the beans there. There's a couple beans.
Yeah.
These beans over there. You see the lighter roast on them. They have no oil on them or anything like that. So
Yeah.
as it should be.
That's the coffee we're using in the office right now, and I'll show you our coffee. I'll put this on.
These are nice beans.
Yeah, it's
nice
pretty
beans.
good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a coffee expert. Here's our dirty coffee pot, and this
Sludgy.
Terry made some coffee. It doesn't look very good right now, I will admit, but it's been sitting there for, the whole afternoon.
It's got body. It's
And
a lot of body.
this is the kit that we're using
A lot of body.
to make coffee. So for all you coffee nerds, and we have a scale which like I don't even use. We used to use it, and now I just eyeball it.
We shoot from the hip. Also, it's always the same recipe, same every time. So
I basically just take a scoop of beans, grind it, fill the kettle up to the top. It's super straightforward. It turns out good every single time.
Turns out great, yeah. So yeah, that's our coffee game. So thanks. We just like to share that there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they're looking for. What else we got over here? We got some cool things. Yeah, GPS tracker in the luggage. Got the air tag in there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at least you'll have some sort of closure to know where it is.
You know what, too? I just realized Sandra just bought, I think, a brand new luggage, too, actually. I believe. Or no, wait, maybe it was a backpack. Anyways,
No, he bought a new backpack.
It was
He
a new
got
backpack.
one of our last Epperson bags.
So
too.
hopefully he didn't lose the backpack. Okay, so next, I want to ask you, Terry, about the 40-ounce
All right.
news.
40
so what's the
ounce.
deal with the 40-ounce?
Story time with Terry over here. So normally it's going to be branded. It gives you guys like the down and dirty deets on the 40 ounce. But today I thought I might share my little personal experience because I mean it doesn't take a genius to know that we've been working on this for a number of years and it's been like a long work in progress. And like I think it's only fair to ask, where is it? What's the update there? Especially when you guys have seen like videos, previews. You've seen like completed samples and stuff like that. So I'm just going to kind of share my personal experience with the 40 ounce today. This happened yesterday, but let's just give it a show. So I was actually with our chief pattern maker, our master artisan, and I was working with him on the 40 ounce to try and like help him out because it takes a lot of work. And I just want to express how difficult it is to do like every single procedure on making these jeans. So just we were working on the waistband, and it took 2 grown men to work on this, and we just have to fold it over in half, fold a piece of 40 ounce fabric in half to make like a seam. And every time you do that, like it's still too thick to go through our special machine. So you have to hit it with a hammer as hard as you can repeatedly. So you have like just a piece of fabric, and you don't want to miss because you hit the zipper and you break the zipper. And our pattern maker told me if I hit the zipper, like just don't bother coming into work the next day. It would kill the jean. Yeah, so you're hitting it as hard as you can with a hammer, turn it over, the exact same thing on the other side, hit it as hard as you can with a hammer, pounding on it, pinch it together with all your might.
So wait, is this hammer loud?
Is extremely loud. yeah, because we're like, we don't. It's not a workshop, not a blacksmith here. So just like it's a regular like roofing style hammer, and I'm hitting against like a wooden table, and it's making an awful racket there. So you have to work on that, beating with a hammer just to squish it. The reason we're hitting the hammer is just to squish that thick 40 ounce fabric, to make it slightly less thick, so it can just barely fit through our sewing machine. And then so like while one person kind of like manhandles these humongous jeans in the air to actually feed them into the machine, the other person's using like one hand on the controls and one hand pinching like this now recently hammered thing as hard as they can so it doesn't come undone, and they're kind of putting it through the machine like one stitch at a time, like just like a single stitch, the voomp, voomp, and then hoping the needle doesn't break. And then the needle does break, it shatters, we break a needle, have to stop, go backwards, undo it. The machine's out of timing. You have to retime the machine. You have to put a new needle in there.
Did we even put the end cap on? I feel like we've just left the end cap off the machine because you have to mess around with it so much.
And this is just to do. I'm going to show you like what we are doing over here. This is just to make like the waistband, which is like this little part here. If you look in the jeans, I know some of you guys are wearing this. You can imagine this kind of like this little taco of like denim that's kind of going over the top part of the jean, and it curls in the end. And so there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and if right next to fly, it can be 6 layers of fabric.
Yeah, you don't realize how thick the jean, like how many times you fold and you fold again, and before you know it, you're like at 6 to 8.
Yeah,
layers
that's 6 layers of 40 ounce is like it's the ragged edge of what like this technology can accomplish. So we spent like I don't know like 15 minutes on that, and we sewed like one part on one pair of jeans. So I just wanted to share that personal experience there because I really felt the frustration, not the frustration, like the difficulty in working with these things there, like how challenging it is. Like
we should have had like a little timer, like a start-stop thing. Every time someone starts working on the 40 ounce, you just click start, and then add up all the hours. Because I've been telling people like it takes X amount of days per pair, but I'm just kind of ballparking it. But it might actually be a lot more than that. Like the amount of time it takes just to complete one operation on one pair of jeans. It's a lot of time.
It's tremendous. It really is tremendous. And we basically go right until they can't go anymore. And like we have like a pile of broken needles. And these are not like little baby sewing machine needles. These are very large needles. So
yeah, the machine is very heavy duty. One other small update I can give is the video that we're making. We're making kind of like a mini documentary.
Yeah.
Or like 5-minute video about the whole production. It shows kind of all the different steps and all that. We're making that, and it's pretty much finished right now. So as soon as the jeans are all ready, we'll release the video. So even though, if you don't get to see the jeans in person, you're going to kind of see the backstory and the behind the scenes and the sewing and all that. So definitely something to look forward to. And I really do like the video. I think it's going to be a nice little
I saw the rough
final
cut.
touch.
It's classy. Definitely feels classy there.
Okay, let's head over to the chat here. Any coffee denim soon? We just answered that question. Go back 5 minutes and you'll...
it's not here and it's not in Paris. That's what I can say.
Yeah, you'll find out. Chances of low tension slub in black. Maybe for a special collection coming up.
Like black slubby denim. I mean, like there was like the Shinigami that just came out.
Yeah.
We've a very like just 1 or 2 pairs left in the odd size.
No, but the special collection that we have planned for next year.
Oh yeah, the special collection.
I don't know. Yeah,
the chat already knows what the special collection is about. So.
Yeah, maybe for the Godzilla, we'll see. Denim armor, yes. Someone's asking for 22 ounce with 1% stretch. We did do the elephant stretches a while ago. I know you're a big fan of it.
Huge fan.
I don't know. We'll see. Maybe every once in a while, because we were trying to do like a regular and then a stretch and then a regular and a stretch, and it just seemed to be too much.
It's very easy to confuse it too. There are some people out there who got stretches when they should have gotten the opposite and stuff like that.
That and it's just like it's a lot of, the flashers were almost the same, so they looked nearly identical. It was very confusing.
The very small amount of stretch in the heavy fabric, it's a very subtle effect. So on a 2% stretch pair of jeans, I think it's already quite subtle. You have to kind of like really pull. You feel it just a little bit. And I found on my elephants, it's even more subtle. I'm probably there in the background, like I was appreciating it without really realizing it. But it's subtle, especially on the heavyweights. I feel like.
BD says Sashiko date. No Sashiko date.
No date.
Nope.
No date.
Right now, basically, I have lined up in terms of dates. I have the 11-piece release already, and then I have the Chinese New Year next. I think.
Yeah, we're cutting it close to the Chinese New Year.
And then hopefully the 40 ounce after that, and then I forget whether the Chinese New Year is next or the Sakura slub. One of those two is next.
Yeah.
And then pretty much everything after. Well, okay, and then there's one other thing which will probably be after that, which is, did we tell them about the special strong guy?
You know what? That's only been in the internal meeting so far.
Did we mention the special strong guy to you guys? I don't know. Let us know in the chat. I'll just say it again in case you missed it.
Yeah, there's no secrets here. Never stop Bezad.
No, definitely not.
Man,
so last season we had a lot of demand for the strong guy, and we didn't really make that many strong guys. So we're really trying to ramp that up. Even today, we noticed that the 11-piece, basically the top 3 sellers were the jacket, the weird guy, and the strong guy were the most popular items.
Yeah.
And we know you guys are hungry for the strong guys, especially the smaller sizes. And so I thought, a way to satisfy that denim thirst would be to do just a special run of strong guys. So we actually found upstairs, we had some extra fabric from the offshoot, which I think if it's a broken twill, if you don't remember.
It's a nice broken twill.
Yeah, a nice broken twill. And so we had some of that fabric left over, and I thought, well, why don't we do a big cut of strong guys? So we're making a whole bunch of strong guys out of those, and that will probably be sometime in the next little while. They'll be finished, and they'll be up for sale for you guys. So if you're looking for a strong guy, it'll be an option. Broken twill is pretty cool. So
yeah, it's a cool fabric there with a lot of heritage. Yeah.
C. Sanchez says, do you know the price of the MIJ Kakishibu Weft jeans? I know roughly the price. I think it's going to be around the same as the last time we did the Tokushima hand-dyed ones, which I think it was around 800-ish.
Yeah.
I think maybe just over 800. I know it was less than 1,000, that's for sure, because I talked to Brandon about it, and yeah, the price is gonna be around 800.
It'll be up there.
Yeah, but it is it was something to do with basically the yen is being cheap right now. So even though the fabric is actually more expensive, because of the conversion rate, we were able to keep the price
low.
Pretty much, low, more or less the same. So we passed the savings on to you guys. So we know it's not a cheap jean. It's a little bit expensive. So we want to try to make it as affordable as possible. Yeah, affordability in $800 jeans.
It does sound crazy.
Sounds a little crazy, but it is really the case. We're trying to.
It could easily be a lot more. That's the thing. The same. Keeping everything the same, it could easily be a lot more.
Yeah, if you bought it from a luxury brand, it would probably be like $4,000 because their margin is just like crazy high. Okay, so I brought in some jeans to show.
Let's talk about some jeans
to celebrate, because we had, of course, the release of the Love and Peace
today.
Selvage.
I know there's a guy in there who got a tuxedo there, so thank you very much. So in the chat, we got the full tuxedo there.
Well, that was a good choice.
Yeah.
I think having the jacket is cool because you open up the inside and boom, you show that.
Sean, that's right. Sean had let us know that he bought the entire Frankenstein Canadian tuxedo. So
it's Frankenstein. Also
good on
good
you, Sean.
choice. Very bold.
And the piece.
So yeah, we got the Love and the Peace selvage. Cool veg tan patch. Very nice. Very tasteful. Great flasher on it too. Super vibrant. The fabric though, the selvage is cool. This one says love, love.
Love.
Love, love. And then if you look at flip up the cuff to spread some love. So let me try to get this nice for you guys. There you go. So it says peace on one side and love on the other side, and you got a little peace logo and a little heart.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Pretty cool.
It's cute. I like it.
But the reason that I really like these jeans and I think they're so great, the selvage is cool. The patch is nice. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna lie, but the results you get once you wear these, that's really the best part, and you don't get the best part until later. So here's a little side by side. This one, I will say, it's not gonna fade exactly like this, probably because this one was worn, I think, in construction or something, so it's kind of got like a dirty yellowish tinge to it. So yours is probably not going to look exactly like this, but the texture is going to be the same. So it's got this like short slub, very grainy, staticky. It's not like slubby like Terry's jeans where it's like really slubby and really obvious, but it's just got this really nice texture on it. And let me try to get it up close so you can see.
It's a classy slub.
Champion
fader. Beloved. I mean, there's a lot of good examples around here.
This is one of our most, I'd say, sleeper fabrics, in that it fades amazingly, but it doesn't. It's not super famous, if you know what I mean. Like, people don't like the elephant jeans. They have
everybody
a
knows the
reputation.
elephants.
But these ones, they fade so good. I wish Justin was here because Justin has a pair of Strong Guy Vulgar 3s.
Yeah.
And his are coming on really nice. Let's look at the honeycombs.
Yeah, his are great.
The honeycombs here.
Micro blowouts, yeah.
It's just... These are... Well, this one had the old... I think this is the pigskin patch, I believe. So, we should do more pigskin. I like this thin pigskin. But yeah, just super nice. So that's what you kind of have to look forward to on the Peace and Love, is this just great fabric, and it's a super nice weight. What is it? 12.5?
Classic 12.5.
Yeah, 12.5 ounces.
All cotton. No.
So it's all year round jean, super wearable. We already made a video about it. You can go see the video Brandon and I made if you haven't already. So I'm not gonna go on and on, but I just wanted to show off that faded pair because it's probably actually one of my top 5 faded pairs in our entire collection. I'd say we have one pair of Okayama Spirits that are just so nice. That one. We have a pair of 32 ounce that's faded really nicely. The Natural Indigo Jacket. And what else? Maybe Bezad's MIJ2. Those are probably my top 5 favorite fades in our entire collection. We got a lot of faded jeans. But if I had to pick 5, that would be it.
Those are really good there.
Mm-hmm. What are people saying in the chat here? Have you checked out... Oh, okay. They're just talking amongst themselves. Yes, great.
I like
you guys
that.
are giving each other
Keep
help
it
in
up.
the chat. Yeah. If paying $300 for jeans for you is a stretch, which I totally get it because $300
100%.
is a lot of money.
A huge amount.
We do have another brand called the Unbranded brand, and we could check it out here real quick if you guys want to see. Just so that you guys are aware.
Fire up the old brandedbrand.com there.
Let's just use the Unbranded brand. So this is the Unbranded brand. Oh, we're just going to have a little pop-up here. Who's that? That guy?
Looks familiar.
That's me. So if you go to the unbrandedbrand.com, you're going to see my crotch. But, first thing that you see. So here's the Unbranded brand, and this is one of our sister brands, and it is even more value-oriented. So at Naked Famous Denim, we try to keep the prices as low as possible with providing the highest quality. But Unbranded brand, the prices are even lower, and the quality, I'd say, is just as good. So, yeah, you get all the features. Let's take a look at the 14.5 ounce. This is our standard 14.5 ounce. UB201. It comes in a bunch of different fits. $94 for selvage denim.
Yeah, I like
so
that.
That's a really good deal. Of course, we have the size charts down here. So if you don't know your size, you want to use the measuring guide and the size chart. Let me just grab real quick. I'll grab a faded pair.
Yeah, we got one lying around there. Yeah, so
I
again, like
always
this.
got faded ones on deck here.
Just
so
in
here's
case.
a faded pair
Wow, that's
of the 14.5 ounce.
great.
Like,
I
Look
love
at
the
that.
repair on the right leg there.
for $94, you can't even go to the mall and get something that good for that price. Not even close. Not even close. So yeah, amazing jean, amazing fader. Less than $100. Terry, why don't you go over to the 21 ounce on the website there?
Let me fire up the clicky wiki over here. So, shot by Fabric, the 21 ounce.
So yeah, we also have this fabric, the 21 ounce.
This
has legendary status.
legendary fadeability there. Like you
Yeah.
look at this jean, it starts fading.
So these are available all year round, every single day. $139, 21 ounce indigo rope dyed heavy. 21 ounce jeans, $139. It's got all the features: leather patch, selvage, everything you want.
Mhm.
$139, which is actually crazy.
Yeah, like I don't think
considering like no one comes close to that.
yeah, for heavyweights.
And the reason it's a legendary fader is because it fades super fast,
Mhm.
very, very fast fader, and the results are awesome. So if you want a really cool jean that looks like this, let's make it full screen. Sorry.
Oh yeah,
you
my
guys
gosh,
probably
we're
can't
on
see.
the wrong.
There we go.
There They need to see that big picture.
So if you want to, this one's a little bit dirty too. Someone's probably working hard outside in
Little
these. So they're not going
DIY
to fade
dirty
to
fade.
brown, but this
No.
pair got kind of dirty. So
Not any
you can
help.
see here, look at that heavyweight fades. I had a pair of 21 ounce, but I kind of outgrew them. Kind of want to get into another pair. Maybe when the strong guy equivalent, the wide fit comes, I might get back into a pair of 21 ounce unbranded brand and fade those, because that would be super cool. So, and look, even the patch.
Yeah, it did pretty well there.
The patch fades nicely too. It was funny. I was talking to someone the other day. If there was a very, very rare production where like we got this weird leather
Oh, I remember
where there
right
was
when I
like
first
pink
started.
underneath of it. So
Yeah.
if you have a unbranded brand 21 ounce with like the pink leather exposed, you have a super ultra rare, very special pair. It was funny because people wanted to return them, so we took some back. We're like, of course we'll take it back, but really they should have kept it, because it would have been like the craziest, most rarest unbranded brand jeans with the pink leather
Yeah,
patch.
so we ended up removing all those pink patches, but a couple of them did make them out there. A couple of
Yeah,
them made them back.
there are a few out there.
Fade to pink.
The fade to pink leather patch.
That and the Stong Guy typo.
The Stong guy also
The Stong
very
Guy.
rare.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. Let's get back to the
Get
chat
back to
here.
chat.
Mortal Cruise went to cop the wide fits at 11:20 on release. Yeah, the wide fits are delayed. We ran into a little bit of issue with the logistics, but we're trying to get things back on track as soon as possible. And yeah, it will be coming. I will guarantee that.
Like it's happening.
And the 21 ounce is coming. Other stuff is on the way, and then we'll get the 14.5 ounce back as soon as possible. But yeah, the wide fit is coming, and I can tell people are excited about it. I'm really excited about it as well. John, GP84. I'm curious, John, what does the GP84 stand for?
Grand Prix
Grand Prix.
1984?
Maybe.
Or maybe it's full
Or is
name,
it like
John GP.
Is it a train?
Born in 1984. That's my
Maybe.
guess.
Maybe. Okay, let's move on. Actually, I had a special request from one of the viewers.
Okay.
And this is not necessarily denim, but it is, I'd say, denim adjacent.
Oh, okay. I see it right here. Okay.
Yeah. So they asked me if I could quickly run through my my engineer boots collection.
Oh man, you got him started. You got him started.
Which, I twist my arm.
Twist your rubber arm.
Twist
yeah.
my arm. Yeah, I think I can show you guys. So if you don't know, not only am I someone who loves denim, I also do love leather as well. And
He
if
does
you
like the
come
leather.
here 9 times out of 10 in the office, I'm going to be wearing a pair of leather engineer boots.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that close to Terry's face. It's just the perspective.
Yes. The boot was this big.
So anyways, they wanted me to show off the pairs. And luckily, today I happen to have them all here in the office.
The full family. It's a lot of boots, people. We're looking at a lot of boots.
Start with...
You're the yell because you're far away from the mic over here.
Okay, let's start with these guys. Okay, I'll start with like something standard. So up first, this is a pretty standard boot, and if you're just getting into engineer boots, I'd probably recommend these ones first. And these are the Wesco, so it's Wesco Boot Company, and these ones are called the Mr. Lou, and it's a black horsehide, black hornween, I believe it's hornween. Got the silver roller buckles on it, the half sole, so basically the sole doesn't go all the way down, so it's a half sole, stacked heel, of course, and it has a narrower shaft on it. So normally engineer boots have a little bit wider shaft, which I'll show you later, but as you can see here, it's actually quite narrow. So if you're someone who likes slim straight jeans, or the weird guy, or even the true guy, I'd say this is a great option just because it is a little bit narrower on the shaft. This leather is pretty heavy duty. It will stretch a little bit, but it's not super stretchy. Of course, they're waterproof, stitched down construction, so they are designed to be resold. You can send them back to Wesco, get them resold. You can see here my heel is kind of wearing out a little bit, and the outsole. So these aren't really due for a resole yet, but when they are, I'll send. I actually had them re-heeled once already, so this isn't even the heel that came with it. So that's the.
Where do you pick your boots up in person, or do you buy them online?
I get them online. I've never been there, so they're in Washington, or no, Oregon. What do they call it? I forget. It's like just above Portland.
Spokane?
No, not Spokane. That's different. Someone in the chat will write where it is, but it's like a.
Find up that geography.
They're just above Portland, like 40 minutes or something. Next we have the Wesco in olive waxed flesh. I got these through Standard and Strange, but it's very similar to the Mr. Lou, except the shaft is a little bit taller. It's hornween olive waxed flesh, so they fade to this kind of like avocado-y color. Natural edge, I had them resold. So I got or actually not natural, it's like unfinished raw edge. So if you like that finish, it's just ask for a raw. Got the longer instep straps on them, different buckles, longer straps on the top here as well. These are a very cool pair. I don't wear them as much because they're not the most comfortable ones I have for some reason. But yeah, another cool pair from Wesco. Next, I'll show you.
Next.
This is probably the most rare pair I have because these are basically like a one of one. Scappoose, Oregon.
Scappoose.
Yeah, Scappoose, Oregon. Austin is correct. So this is my pair of Dayton engineer boots. So I used to work for a company called Dayton Boots in Vancouver, BC, Canada. And when I worked there, I designed these boots and had them made. Let me put them on. They're really heavy, so I'll just hold one. I'm not even joking. So these ones, you can't order them. So if you want to order this and you go to Dayton, they might say they can make it for you, but they can't. So don't. For a couple reasons. And the main reason is the buckles here. The buckles are not the standard buckles that Dayton has. These buckles I ordered special from Japan, and if you know the Bootmaker Roll Club, or there's I think a few other possible brands that use or used to use this buckle. So it's a Japanese brass buckle, and then the matching one on the top. I bought these and had them imported specifically to make this boot. It's got a double midsole. So Dayton boots, like they had to have a reputation of having like these really thick, ridiculous outsoles. So that's part of the DNA of the brand. So I went for that on this boot. Kind of regretted it because they are a little bit stiff, but whatever. It's the DNA of the brand. Unstructured toe, so it's very soft. It's a triple big like work boot last, so they're very very voluminous, so I can put in like a huge sock, and I got lots of room in there. And yeah, a narrower shaft than the standard Dayton Engineer. So if you buy a normal Dayton Engineer, you get this big huge shaft because it's a very like
almost like a rubber
like
boot.
70s 80s Engineer with these huge shaft. It's like, you know, for big guys who are like, you know, maybe a little overweight or don't have flexibility to get their foot in, like big biker guys. So anyways, I made the shaft a little bit smaller. Big heel on it too, big logger heel. Vibram 700 half sole. So yeah, that's the Dayton Boots Engineer. You can see the little logo in there. But yeah, you can't get these, so don't try to order them.
It's special, one of ones.
One of one. Okay, next. We'll keep these for last. I'll take the ones off.
He's got more, ladies and gentlemen. He's got more.
We got more.
Oh my God,
I hope no one's getting bored.
He's taking off the boots.
I'm taking off one boot to show you guys.
It's a sea of boots over
This
here.
is probably my overall favorite boot, but it's kind of a love-hate relationship with this boot, and I'll tell you why. So this boot is from John Lofgren. John Lofgren is a guy, and he produces boots in Japan. So this is a made-in-Japan boot. The reason I like it, it's smaller, so it doesn't go up as high. It's very comfortable. It's made with, or at least this one is made with black Horween Chrome XL. So the leather is very durable. It's very soft. It stretches out nicely. You can really see it has like patinaed, very nice. There's the inside. When I wash these and I take off all of the oil with some saddle soap, they go basically like brown color almost.
Cool.
And then once I add the oil back, they become black. But you can see here there's like a lot of fading where it's kind of fading to brown. The heel is not too high. It's got a storm welt. Everything about, and like it fits me good. Like you can see the profile here, so it's not too pointed of a toe. The buckle is nice. The instep strap is nice. Everything about it I like. Two issues. Number one, the price. These are very expensive. They're over $1,000 US. I didn't pay that much for these, and I refuse to. I think that's just too much money for what this is. Second of all, when I had them for probably 2 years, and I had this problem where the whole insole, it's a leather insole, basically delaminated and started to curve up on the sides.
Ooh.
And it was very uncomfortable on like the sides of my feet and my toes, and I'd wear it and it would kind of like smooth out, but then as soon as I'd take them off and let them sit for a day, it would curl back up again. So I had this weird problem with the boots, and I have never experienced this with any other boot, nor have I heard of it even happening. And I used to work in a company that makes boots just like this, exact same construction method, everything. We never had this problem. So I ended up reaching out to the John Lofgren team, and after like a few weeks they got back to me and basically told me to pound sand. So I will say that their customer support, like they didn't even give me any advice, anything. They was just kind of like, oh, that's weird, okay, bye. So I wasn't super excited about that, but hey, that's how it goes. You can actually see on this one, it's signed by Mr. John Lofgren himself.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So anyways, even though these are my favorite boots just because I love everything about them, I have two cons. Like, you know, you may have that defect, you may have that problem, and guess what? You're sending them to Taiwan to have them rebuilt for $300 US. And that's what I did. So now they have Dr. Soul outsoles.
Cool.
So yeah, I sent them to Dr. Soul in Taiwan, #1. They did a great job resoling and rebuilding these boots, and I'd say they look even better than when I first got them. So yeah, this is my favorite boot, but it's kind of with an asterisk, and I like them so much that I bought another pair. So this is the same boot, the exact same boot in natural Chrome XL, also from Horween. So yeah, I wanted a brown boot, and I got these from Blue Owl. So shout out to the good people at Blue Owl.
Yeah, they helped you out.
Who sell Naked Famous Denim and also sold me these beautiful boots. So yeah, got those as well. And then, but wait, there's more.
He's not finished, folks.
This is a pair of Wesco Basel. Look, you can see already here. Look at that big shaft. This is like a different pattern. This is the Wesco Boss. This is like the standard Wesco Engineer. And I used to hate these. I don't know why. I just really didn't like them. Because if you compare side by side, this one's like so sleek and low profile with this pointy toe, and you know, it's the half sole. Everything about it is kind of like old school, where this is kind of like not so old school. It's more like modern biker guy, and I really didn't like it. But eventually I broke down and I bought a pair, and I love it. I love the bump toe. You'll see that it's got this big bump toe in it. The lugged outsole, I used to hate that. I hated it so much, but now I love it. I just think it's so badass and so cool. Look at that huge heel on there. They're just like so big, so comfy. Like you throw them on, your toes aren't squished or anything. I love them. The only thing, the big problem with these is because they have a huge shaft, you kind of got to wear them with a bigger pant. So either you want to have a true guy with like enough room in the leg, or the strong guy. The strong guy looks amazing with these. I get a lot of compliments on these boots, even though these other boots, you know, I like them more and they're more like sexy, more expensive. I probably get the most compliments on these.
They look chunky
because people like average people like, ooh, chunky boots with the cool lugged outsole. Like they like the Vibram 100. They like this look. So I would say the engineer boot community is going to tell you to buy this. That's what they're going to tell you to buy. I'm going to tell you to buy this because they're cheaper and they're cooler because they're more unique and they're more comfy. So Wesco Boss. I'm
gonna answer someone's question. So when you do buy one of these boots, how did you break them in? Like, what's your procedure? You know, you must have done this a number of times. This is some
you just kind of gotta wear them.
To power through.
But okay, so ideally you get them and you wear them and they're fine. You don't want them to be too loose and you don't want them to be too tight, which is kind of hard. They're a slip-on boot, so you gotta kind of get it right. That being said, leather does stretch out eventually, but there are some ways to encourage that. So like this pair that I've been wearing around the office, I've just been wearing them in the office. I haven't even really worn them much outside, stretching them out. And sometimes in the morning, if I want to, you can already see it stretching out here and here. I'll get them wet just on the vamp, and I'll like use a little spray bottle or like throw them in the sink and just run a little bit of warm water, not hot water, warm water or cold water over it to get it all like saturated with water, and then wear them around the office. And then I have a little spray bottle right here. I just give them a little spray just like that.
Like you might do for your tropical
because this is
plants.
what you do when you stretch out. When I used to work with boots, people would bring their boots in all the time to get them stretched. And so before we put them on the stretcher, we give them a real good spray on the outside and even on the inside. Get them nice and moist. It helps the leather stretch. Same with when you're lasting the leather. When this gets lasted, you get it all wet. Usually. I mean, depends on the leather. Some leathers, it will mess it up, like your veg tan or whatever. But like if it's a leather that can get wet, you just get it all nice and wet, and that's going to help it stretch. So that's one tip to help stretch out boots. And then the other tip is like if your boots are uncomfortable and like you're still struggling with it, what you can do, and some manufacturers will really not recommend this and others will. I even called Wesco to get their opinion on it, but like these boots here, I haven't done it with these, but I can show you a different pair I did it on.
Oh, he's got more people.
So this is the Wesco Jobmaster. This one, what was the issue? Oh, that was a squeaky. I was having a squeaky.
I remember the squeaky shoe.
Squeaky shoe. So I called them and I was like, "Yo, what can I do, other than send them back and having them rebuilt?" And they're like, "You can soak them in water." So what I do, actually, I did the same thing on my Daytons as well. So the Daytons have had this treatment, and the Jobmasters, where basically you just take warm water and just like fill them up, and you just let them soak in a bucket or something till they become completely saturated with water. Then you throw them on, and you wear them for the rest of the day. And you basically, they just are going to like mold and stretch out to your foot, because once leather gets really wet, it gets super stretchy and super moldable. If you've ever done leather work, like making gun holsters or that kind of thing, like that's what you do. You get it soaking wet and then you just mold it. And so you can do that with your boots too, but you can also kind of mess them up. So you're taking a risk when you do that. So maybe reach out to the manufacturer, see what they say. It can cause problems. But also, you know, if you're really struggling with your boots, it might be kind of like your last ditch attempt to make them work. And for me, I've had it work twice, but I don't do it on every single pair. If you know what I mean. Like if they're fine out of the box, then I don't bother. But if it needs to be done, then it needs to be done.
Yeah, so thank you for telling us all a boot that.
Yeah, that's all a boot I have to say.
Like,
a boot that.
By the way, like, ladies and gentlemen, like, these boots live here in the office. They're not at his house, not as an apartment, you know, not in some store.
Well, I take them home for the weekend, so like I'll choose which pair I want to wear for the weekend, and then I wear them home. Yeah. Yeah. So, but I keep them mostly here in the office.
I know he's been trying to sell me on those West Coast there, but I like the people in the chat there. Like, we got Anodyne and THR.
Thing is,
Wolf.
the reason I'm trying to sell you on West Coast, this is not made to order. They don't know. Okay, these are not what you're.
The Thursday sneakers. Yeah.
Anyways, all of those things, you're just fitting into whatever
it's
they
off the
have.
shelf.
It's off the shelf. But for Terry, and if you've got a weird foot, if you're a weird foot guy,
I have a weird foot.
You go to Wesco, they have like the cheapest. It's not a custom last, but it's a like custom fit, where they're basically gonna write down your stuff and they build up a last every time for you. But I think it's the cheapest, most affordable way to get the like special or custom fit in a boot. And if you're someone with a really weird shaped foot, then that's probably going to be worth it to you.
I got those wide off-road feet there. Yeah.
My feet are a little bit wide, but I don't think they're wide enough or weird enough to warrant custom lasts. And I will also say that working in the footwear industry, there's a lot of people who think they need custom, and they don't really. They just need to like find the right size and right width. But hey, that's just my opinion.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of boot. I mean, like, there's a lot of boot crossover with the jean types there. So I think they're definitely classic partners there.
Steven says he's a Knicks boots man himself. Well, yeah, Knicks is great. White's is great. JK, Frank's. What else am I missing? Viberg.
Viberg's Canadian. I found out today.
Viberg's from Victoria, or Vancouver Island.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dayton boots. There's a lot of good options out there. There's like, I mean, I'm just scratching the surface. There's tons and tons, and it seems like almost every day I'm on Instagram and there's a new boot maker popping up. So yeah, tons of options out there. You just got to find what you like, and that's really the hard part, I'd say, actually.
Big boot love.
All right, any other questions in the chat that I missed during the rant?
Yeah, maybe not a rant, not like a classic Bezad rant.
People love the big shaft. People do. Different shafts for different people. Different shafts for different jeans. You got to mix and match your shafts. Okay. Sakura Slub Selvage. We already talked about it.
Very soon.
Soon. It's coming. It's on the way.
Next couple of weeks.
Yeah. I just have to edit the video. I took all the photos. We shot the video.
We have it in the warehouse, but
it's
not
here.
yeah.
Is it all here? I don't think it's all here.
I think it's fully received.
Fully received.
I think Sakura is fully received, but we're waiting for. They're trying to get those Lunar New Year's. We're really like down the wire on like the Lunar New Year's because we really want to try and get them out. Unfortunately, like Lunar New Year is next week.
Well, okay. Sean Gonzalez says in the chat, Dr. Martens are a good cheap alternative. I like Dr. Martens.
He does.
Don't get me wrong.
He bought some.
I've had 3 pairs of Dr. Martens. I even have a pair right here. This is a pair made in England. Derbies. Well, I think they call them Oxfords, but they're derbies. Made in England, Dr. Martens.
You wanted to love those.
They're not a replacement for 2 reasons. Well, at least for me. One is, unlike these boots where you can break them in and they like stretch out real nice to the shape of your foot, the Docs don't so much. The quality of the leather that they use is just so poor that they don't stretch out very well, and by the time they do stretch out, they're almost completely cooked. And the problem is they crack, the leather's no good, and let's just say the leather somehow you were able to maintain it, it didn't crack, it didn't mess up, even though all my friends who have Dr. Martens, the leather starts to crack. Let's say you didn't, and your outsole's worn out. You can't resole them. I mean, it's possible, but like it's not practical. They're not designed to be resold. They go straight in the trash, and you got to buy a brand new pair, and then you got to start the whole process over and breaking your feet. I'll tell you a little quick story for me, even since we're on continue the boots rant.
Yeah. It's boot
First
talk
pair
today,
of
people.
Dr. Martens I got, I was so stoked. I was so excited. I thought they were so cool. I bought a pair. I wore them, and everyone online's like, "Oh, you just gotta tough it out. You just gotta break it in." Da 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 da. So I wore them for like 2 weeks straight, just trying to break them in, just suffering the whole time. And what happened was I didn't really break in the boots. I ended up breaking in my toes. So my baby toe on the right side got crushed so bad that it lost feeling.
Yeah,
My toe went numb
It's time to stop wearing the boots.
for a year. I'm not even exaggerating. I'm not lying. My right pinky toe lost feeling for an entire year.
Permanent nerve damage.
Yeah, I had. Well, it wasn't permanent because it eventually came back. So now I can feel in my toe again. But for a year, the boot broke my toe, and so the advice that people say on the internet, like just break them in, just be a man, just tough it out, break in your Dr. Martens. Horrible advice. I don't recommend them.
He did it. It broke him.
If your feet are perfectly the exact shape of their last, go for it.
Yeah.
But if your foot is not, and mine aren't, mine are just a little bit too wide, it's a bad time. And I regret it. I've owned 3 pairs of Dr. Martens, all made in England.
You wanted to love them.
I tried
I remember
so
when
hard.
you got those in there.
I tried
so
so
the
hard.
first day, and then like the next week, you had them like stretched out at the cobbler, and you tried
Yeah.
again, but like defeated. Like
I still have them.
I think like the yellow stitching does look pretty cool. I think it's.
I will say Dr. Martens, very cool. I love the history. I love it all. It just doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. And they're not cheap either, too. They're quite expensive.
You're
So
buying the
by the
expensive
time you
ones.
buy like 2 pairs of Dr. Martens boots, like you're basically at a pair of Wescos, or something similar. So, anyways,
Yeah, the only other person I know who have that type of toe thing, one of my best friend got a similar thing on a military exercise over like 2 weeks, stuck in the bush.
trench foot.
Yeah, they were not trench foot. It was basically like hovering around like freezing for 2 weeks, and you're stuck in there getting like artillery simulators thrown at you. And like
And did he get like frostbite or what?
he didn't get frostbite, but he got the permanent foot damage. So he made sure to write it down and note it with the base doctor. So in the future, if you ever like long-term medical issues, he would claim that to the end of time.
Yeah, you got to be careful with your feet.
Yeah, you only
I
got
have permanent foot damage in my left foot due to a skateboarding incident.
I was there. I
Yeah.
saw it all.
I'm sure you guys have heard of it, but
Yeah.
yeah, my left foot has never fully recovered from. It's slowly getting better. Like it's been a few years now, but it still is.
It was a kickflip too far.
Yeah, take care of your feet. It's very important. Don't be wearing Vans around all day. That kind of thing. You will destroy.
I wear Vans all
You have flat feet though, so it's a little different.
springy, like not flat feet the condition. I just have like feet that are okay being flat. What's that difference? Because flat feet's like you if you have flat feet, the medical condition, like you need arch support. But I'm like the opposite. I don't need the arch support because I wear flat shoes. Who knows?
One day. One day.
Yeah, he thinks. Hey,
One of these days.
I'm 41 years old.
All right.
I
So
made it this far.
I asked for people to submit questions
Yeah, to the chat.
on Instagram.
Let's shake it up a little bit. Let's not talk about boots for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. If you're not into boots, I apologize, but I thought, there
No,
was
I think it's good. A little bit of like passion there. I try to remember what Bezad might rant about. Sometimes he definitely got
video
some
games
video games.
and old tech stuff.
Yeah. We'll compare my achievements with Bezad's there. See who's got the bigger gamer score.
Ooh, here's a good question. Favorite candy bar? Ooh.
Favorite candy bar. I have a quick answer for that right now. I was going to say like favorite candy bar in North America. I like the Wonder Bars. Favorite candy bar in the world. I love the Black Thunder you can get in Japan.
Black Thunder.
Black Thunder, people.
Black Thunder.
Black Thunder, Japan. It has like just a perfect mix of like crunch and not crunch and texture. Yeah, it's a good one. What?
Is this a Canadian thing?
I've never seen this before. It looks probably a West Coast thing.
Okay, great. So I'll share this with you guys. We should try to get these. So
Oops.
I'm gonna tell you, to tell you the truth. I can't pronounce your name on Instagram, but the guy who asked these questions, you know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
it's very hard for me to answer this question. Like, what's your favorite candy bar? Like, of course, I like Toblerone, which is just kind of a chocolate. There's a lot, but if I kind of had to choose one for, not only on flavor but also on nostalgia, I would choose
Nostalgia
this
counts.
one right here, the Eat More bar.
I've never heard of this, by the way.
So, for me, this has like a special place in my mind growing up because my dad used to get these when we'd go on hikes, and did a lot of hiking as a kid, a lot of outdoorsy stuff, and he would often buy one of these to bring on the trip because it's like, it gives you a lot of energy. It's got kind of like a chocolatey, fudgy thing, a whole bunch of nuts in it. Eat More bar. Terry's never seen one, so I'm guessing this is maybe a West Coast Canada thing.
Yeah, it could be like an English Canada thing.
But yeah, I would definitely recommend you. Let's go to the Wikipedia here. Created in Canada, acquired by Hershey. Yeah. Oh, interesting. So yeah, it's a stretchy, caramelly, toffee, chocolatey candy bar.
I'd love to pick one up if I see one.
I'm gonna try to bring one next time I'm in BC, or get one, and then we can have it here live. Because I just grew up with these around, and I didn't realize they were, exotic. But if you can get an Eat More bar, I highly recommend it. I love
the name Eat More.
And look at the branding. Like, you can just tell, like, this hasn't changed in years.
I like a classic branding.
It's
just like the quote Cherry Blossom. Rest in peace, Cherry Blossom.
Oh yeah,
rest in peace.
Cherry Blossom. So speaking of Cherry Blossom, we ate a Cherry Blossom last month, and I had never heard of it because I think, again, this is one of those East Coast chocolates.
East Coast. We got East Coast, West Coast chocolate.
You just don't see them on the West Coast. I'd never seen it.
I guess candies are regional.
Here it is right here.
Yeah,
Cherry Blossom. They used like Helvetica, it looks like, or something similar.
It's the mid-century modern of candies.
This is exactly. This is Brandon's dad's favorite candy, apparently. Oh, so we tried this on the live stream.
Yeah, go back a few episodes, watch that one. Brandon's got some strong words for it.
Yeah, and just the other day, news broke that they were discontinuing the Cherry Blossom. And I was a little bit heartbroken, and I felt guilty because I felt like I was somehow responsible.
If you just bought more Cherry Blossoms.
One, I didn't buy enough Cherry Blossoms, and two, somehow the fact that I finally ate one caused them to discontinue it, because this seems like it happens to me a lot where it's like, oh, I find something, I'm like, oh, I like this, and then discontinued. So anyways, the Cherry Blossom has been discontinued. If you want to get one now. BD picked up a whole box in Ontario. This one was on sale. I think it was like $3 for $5 at the Couche-Tard. Maybe send BD a DM, send him some money, and maybe he'll ship you one if you want to try the Cherry Blossom before it's gone. Anyways,
BD in the chat being like a harsh reseller of Cherry Blossoms.
Yeah. I'm thinking I'm gonna go to the Dollarama.
Szechuan sauce.
Yeah, Szechuan sauce, and try to pick up a bunch of Cherry Blossom because I'm just sad that they're gonna be gone.
I like that they didn't change the package.
I like the packaging.
Low key.
I really like it.
It is like the mid-century modern of like candies over here. Just like admire that one last time before it sleeps forever. Focus you.
Oh, so tell them about the cherry. You gotta put it in the middle.
It will not focus. Come on. There you go. There you go.
Tell us about the cherry inside, Terry.
So I heard the legend, or I was reading the news, or on the radio, or whatnot. There, so like it's made of a cherry, like a maraschino, like a candied cherry. However, they put a little enzyme in the chocolate at the factory, and after about 2 weeks or so, it kind of like liquefies that cherry. So when you eat it, you're not actually chewing on like a chewy cherry. It's just like cherry ooze because it's been like dissolved.
The goo.
It sits there like in this like chocolatey like stomach and just gets digested before you, which I think is pretty cool.
I think it's great.
I think it's a great idea.
And they've been making it. They used to make them in Montreal and Griffintown.
Yeah, apparently this was like not just it's getting
like
discontinued. Like this was like a local Montreal thing. It has like roots here in Quebec. It's like very Canadian, like all these things, and we just like poo-pooed it.
Yeah, and then now it's gone.
Very sweet. I mean, like,
now it's sad. It's very sweet, yes.
This is not quality chocolate. It's not like fancy. Like this is like sweet, like low-grade milk chocolate with a cool party trick and a lovely little design. Some cherries on the top. Economy yellow. Thrifty yellow.
Mm-hmm. Okay, back to the questions. People keep asking for the Sashiko line update. It's no update right now. I'm sorry.
People like the Sashiko. It's cool.
What is the fit on the strong guy jeans? They're wide.
Yeah,
They're wide, medium rise, medium. I'd say like not super roomy in the top block, but like roomy enough.
Yeah, kind of like a normal jean at the top there, not too loose, not too tight, not too high, not too low, and then as it goes down from the thighs, then it kind of really opens
stays
up.
Wide.
Just opens up and it stays wide all the way down without being silly.
Yes.
Without being silly. I've seen
No, they're not ridiculous.
No,
they're totally wearable.
These are like, I would say it's actually a really nice sweet spot between being like wide leg jeans and not looking like you're going too wide and like really chasing the trends or being like a young.
No, like these are gonna be fun. Like even when the wide, like right now we're going through the extra wide trend where like all the kids are wearing these ridiculously, like they're a size 28 and they're wearing a 36 jean, like with the belt.
I feel like
cranked.
I'm in high school again.
Yeah, so even when that trend is over, these jeans are still going to look good because they're just, just slightly wider than, like a straight leg.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's cool.
So, some of these questions are hard to understand.
Will we be getting a new vulgar salvage anytime soon? We got the Love and Peace today.
There you go.
Which is that's your answer.
Yes. Any
An
other
vulgars?
vulgar?
I mean, like the last vulgar was pretty vulgar. I mean, like I'm not too sure you want to crank that dial any ruder.
I don't know. I guess you know what we could say. The next vulgar that's going to be coming is we're going to restock the Belle Provence.
Yes, the Montreal special.
So that's also the same fabric. So if you do, we are going to restock it and we're going to make it this time in the True Guy and the Strong Guy. So if you're coming to Montreal and you come to Tatignoko, it's the in-store exclusive. You can pick up the Belle Provence jeans, which is our Quebec-themed jeans.
Yeah, it's our in-store exclusive.
Yeah, in-store exclusive. So that's the next vulgar news, essentially. Will the Lord of Nep ever come back? Probably in some form, but we have no plans at the moment.
Yeah.
Strong Guy capsule update. I already updated that. MIJ banner jacket contention possibly. Yes, I think it will happen in the future. But first, we're gonna do the tragic blonde one.
Like he wants it to happen.
Oh, it's happening.
On a personal level, Garrett wants.
I think it's gonna be like my summer project.
Yeah.
Because when we're in the fall, winter, or the spring, summer season, it's a little bit busy. But once the summertime comes, I have more free time. Charbel has free time. Brand has. We can get the ball rolling on that and probably do that sometime.
Yeah,
it's very much a summery thing for me.
Yeah.
So yes. Any heavier ounce slub for fall winter 25?
There is that project, like the special one.
The elephant one? Oh yeah. The Godzilla will be heavy.
Yeah.
They'll be heavyweights. So
the Godzillas are not going to be lightweight jeans. That's not a spoiler.
Yeah. So there you go. That's going to be coming. Are the new work shirts replacing the overshirts? What's the difference in fit? Yeah, the new work shirts are replacing the overshirts. So we kind of pump the brakes on the overshirts just because they were very, very big. They were so big, like they couldn't even fit me.
Yeah, the pendulum swung a little bit too far in one direction, so now it's kind of swinging back a little bit.
Yeah, we're kind of going back to like what was standard, the work shirts.
Yeah. We
made a few adjustments, so we hope you like them. I think they're pretty nice this year. So the work shirt, they still, in my opinion, fit a little bit big, so you can kind of size down if you want to. But it depends how you want to wear it. Like, do you want to wear it over something, or do you want to wear it like just on a t-shirt?
Yeah.
So check the size chart is kind of the way to go. Any chance there will be new colors for the milk glass mugs soon? Yes. What color did Brandon want to do? I think he wanted to do like pink or blue. I forget. We were deciding. I wanted to do purple, but he decided
purple would be like take my money.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. But I forget. I think we're doing
my wife
blue. I forget. Ask next week when Brandon's here, because I forget what we decided on. Will there be overalls in larger sizes in the future? Probably nothing larger than double X. Or what size? What sizes are we doing?
Women's overall, we do small, medium, large. Men's, we'll do like numbered tag sizes. I don't think there's any new production of the current overall
we're
fit
still
planned.
waiting. No, there's a new overall fit coming.
Yes,
and it's just been like crazy delayed. I don't know what's going on with that. ask again next week. And Brandon,
That's a good one for Brandon.
Brandon.
Yeah, Brandon's the right guy to push because
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
give him a little.
It's not my fault.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did work on the new pattern. Tammy and I and Charbel were working on the new pattern for it's basically like a straight leg overall for guys. So yeah, that's gonna be good, but it's just not ready yet.
Not quite there.
Any chance for a permanent white / ecru denim to join the core collection? Probably not, but we do try to release at least one white or ecru jean per year.
I feel like it's a semi-permanent thing because in the last couple of years we had
the natural seed before, and it wasn't core, but we did it so often that it was almost like it was kind of like a running, like a restocking
like
item.
A running seasonal one, yeah.
But we stopped with the natural seed, but we do have the ecru by Fox Fiber coming this season.
Very cool.
So if you haven't watched the Bezad's video where he goes through the whole collection, you can go check out that and see it there. And then we do have another white jean. I'm not gonna spill the beans just yet, but we do have another really cool white jean, something that we haven't really done before for fall winter. If you're in New York, you can come by and take a look. Or if you're in Paris. Hey, back in stock notifications are good. Would low stock notifications be possible? That's a good question. We should write that down. Write that down. That is a possibility.
We'll talk to our guy.
Yeah, I know, because some websites have like a little thing that says like, 1 left or 2 left or whatever. So maybe that is a possibility. That's a good idea. Thanks for asking.
Yeah.
Any purple denim this year? No purple denim. No purple denim. Can there be a fit equivalent chart for Unbranded brand versus Naked and Famous? We don't have it.
Because they're not.
There could be, but they're not exactly the same. My best answer to that is send us an email, and we can do our best to tell you. But they're not exactly. There is kind of like the tapered fit is like the weird guy. The relaxed tapered is like the easy guy. The wide fit is going to be like the strong guy. But they're not all the same. So, but anyways, send us an email, and we can try to help you out with that. And then, like, of course, use the size charts is really the best way to go for that. And then lastly, any plans for new skate decks or a restock on the old ones? Need Flower of Carnage. No plans at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it's never going to happen, but yeah, no plans. And I don't know. If people wanted more, like if people bought more skateboards, then we might.
Yeah, they moved pretty slow.
They're not a fast mover. So we could do it. Maybe. We'll see. You know what? I'd like to do maybe different skateboards, like a penny skateboard deck, or like a longboard, or I don't know, something different. But that would probably move even slower, just 'cause it's even more niche.
Especially the penny one. Plus, aren't the penny ones just not recommended for like beginners and like most people do? Like it's super tricky.
Whatever.
They're cool. They'll learn the hard way.
They're fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are definitely harder to skateboard on. I will say that. But I like I have one. If you're an old head, I have like an old Fiber Flex from like the 80s. That's a really fun skateboard. You have it on the like big gummy wheels with the tiny little trucks. Ooh, you can just carve it so good. Feels so nice. The modern penny boards aren't the same because they don't flex the same. They're just kind of like plastic and rigid, not so nice. But old Fiber Flex, so nice. If you know what I'm talking about, then you know.
I don't, unfortunately.
You don't? Okay.
Yeah. There's one question here. I noticed some people talking about the True Girl Love and Peace, and I have some sad news for everybody.
Oh, tell the news.
Some sad news. So, unfortunately, sorry for getting everybody's hopes up there. The True Girl Love and Peace had to get canceled because we ran out of fabric.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so we also had the Groovy guy also planned for that there, but
I know people were mad.
Yeah, and like it would have been a great. I mean, Love and Peace.
Next time Brandon is on next week, yell at him.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's not gonna be here next week. Maybe it's next week.
Next time he's on here.
Next time you see Brandon, you tell him where's the Groovy guy Love and Peace, because everyone here was waiting for it. Everyone in the comments I saw was waiting for it, but he's the one who cut it.
Yeah, he's the one that cut it. There was some surprise there 'cause I think we were kind of expecting it, and with
I think we got short shipped on the fabric.
Yeah, we were short shipped a little bit. Found out a little bit too late, especially me and poor Vinny there right before the release, and so I kind of feel the thing there. I know it would have been the first release of the True Girl there.
I thought it was coming later.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until yesterday time he's like, "Yo, we canceled it."
Like,
I'm
it died.
Oh, no one told me.
Yeah, no one told me either, unfortunately. So like, we're telling you now.
Yeah,
I know some people there.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Your wife's gonna be mad.
We'll find some other cool.
But there will be other stuff coming for her. So tell her not to worry. We always got cool stuff coming down the pipe. So
they worry not. And like 2025 is like definitely kind of like the year of like the women's revival.
The women's collection is.
Yeah.
It's going straight up like
to the moon, people.
Yeah, I just filmed the video, like the line sheet video for Fall Winter 25.
I saw it.
And the women's section is as long as the men's section. The whole thing together is 50 minutes long.
When do we tease that?
We'll release it a lot later.
Okay, and there's another video that we could have teased as well there, a little behind the scenes.
Oh, yeah. Next week, there'll be a special behind the scenes video. I shot, I can show it off real quick here.
It's a little bit of like it was several things. A bit of a test for me and Garrett there, kind of work on our camera setup.
Yeah, so
get your little gonzo camera over here.
So
if you want to
Terry and I are going to be going to Japan in a couple months, and this is my personal camera here. So it's like a Canon cinema camera, and I've strapped onto it.
You left the safety on.
This lens cap is not good, so I use tape on it just to make sure it doesn't fall off. So I have on here fisheye lens. Oh, you're dropping my lens cap.
I just want to show off you carved your initials in it.
No, I carved my name into it. That's my name.
I don't know if you can see that. It's just too faint. There you go.
Yeah.
Just about there. He carved it in like it was like your school calculator.
I've had this lens since high school. Actually, this is one of the first things I bought on eBay was this lens.
Just the lens, not the camera.
Yeah, and they shipped it from Belarus. So it's a Belarusian lens, like old military lens. They still make them actually. 8 millimeters, 180 degrees fisheye. So it sees all the way across. So let me just turn on the camera here.
You had this camera on the table. I didn't even realize I was on the screen.
So here, let's how do I want to do this? Like this? Okay. No, this way. Whoop. There we go.
It is wide.
There's the...
I'm like on the side of the camera. You guys can like...
There's the lens. You see?
Wide.
So, very wide.
One like Beastie Boys or something.
So that's on one side. Now we're on the other side. You can see all the way. So actually, the fact that you mentioned Beastie Boys, that's the whole reason I decided I'm going to shoot the Japan trip on this camera because of the Beastie Boys music video. If you guys know the song Intergalactic.
No, they wait for it. Intergalactic, yeah.
Intergalactic Beastie Boys. They went to Tokyo. They filmed their music video. And there's also kind of like a Godzilla-ish theme in that video as well. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. Beastie Boys Intergalactic music video. It is such a vibe. It makes me so excited to go to Tokyo and shoot on fisheyes. So that's why I have this camera set up with the fisheye, and we're going to shoot the whole trip on the fisheye. So it's a homage to the Beastie Boys. So back to what we were saying before.
Yeah, I completely forgot.
Back to what we were saying before. I got a new audio setup. This one is like XLR, so it's got 2 audio channels. And so I was having to test out the whole mic situation because we're going to use some like lav mics and stuff as well as the internal mic. And I wanted to shoot like a test video with it just to troubleshoot because I haven't used that setup yet on this camera. And so we went to lunch the other day.
We just went for lunch.
We went for lunch and I documented the whole thing. Terry, Vincent, and I went to our local favorite spot. BD knows the spot.
Mm-hmm. We brought you there, BD.
And we got some poutine and some hot dogs. And yeah, it was a good time. But so I'm going to post the video, not on the channel. It's going to be kind of like a secret link. So I'll post the link or Terry will post it on Instagram. Yeah, just
like unlisted, basically.
It's unlisted video. So you'll be able to go, like, if you save that link, you can go watch it anytime you want. but it's just not going to be like public.
Yeah,
But
you'll
be
might
able
not
to.
have like the same level of time put into the polish it up.
Yeah,
and
it
stuff
is
there.
not polished. It is basically the POV of if you guys went to have lunch with
Yeah,
us.
yeah, and it's I imagine for most people, it's not like
It's not horribly
not
interesting.
not enthralling, but it's kind of cool because hey, put up there because there will be future stuff like this, and it's a nice test. And if you really, really want to see how the sausage is made, this is like the unfiltered, and it is unfiltered.
Oh, it's very unfiltered.
It's very unfiltered. You've been warned. It's unfiltered.
Yeah, so
Yeah, especially Big Vincent.
yeah, there's no censoring. It's very unfiltered. It's very raw. Special edition clip just for you guys. Keep your eyes posted. We will post the link probably on the Instagram or something like that.
Yeah.
Sometime.
Get some
super secret little video.
Get some underground feed.
Just for you guys. Just for our Patreon members.
Yeah, the Patreon members, if only.
Yeah,
not quite. Special supply there.
Oh, that's what we need to do. Chris Griffin says the same day I visited the NYC store, I stopped by the Beastie Boys Square. Oh, in New York. You know what I need to do is find out the filming locations of the Beastie Boys music video
Intergalactic.
in Tokyo, and then we can go like reenact it.
Yeah, but as long as we can't. I just realized if people in the live stream are going to like demonetize.
No, we can. Well, they might kick
We're not
us out.
monetized. No, like we made sure to not check that button, but like
Yeah.
YouTube will still throw a fit.
Okay, before we get into snack time here, I got one last thing. Since we're talking about cameras, Canon cameras, I was packing for New York because, again, I'll mention if you're just joining the chat now, I'll be in New York next week for the Man Woman show. We're going to have a party Wednesday, I believe it's the 29th.
Free beer, New York store.
29th, 7 p.m., New York store, 123 Grand Street. I'm going to post it on Instagram so you have all the details. But party, please be there. And to go down to New York, I feel like it's a theme when I go to New York. Something about me going to New York, I just want to bring this camera. So this is, and even Terry has experience with this camera too. This is my Canon EOS 5D Canon Mark 1, also known as the 5D Classic. So this is the original. I started with
Mark 2, to be honest, the Mark 2. But yeah.
I didn't start with this camera, but I used this camera a lot in the 2000s, photographing weddings. So it has kind of sentimental value to me. And,
yeah, if you got married in like the West Coast, Greater Vancouver area.
If you were having a luxury wedding in Vancouver between the years of 2007 and 2012, I may have been there with a Canon 5D Mark 1. So anyways, yeah, I didn't own that camera at the time. I was actually a Nikon guy, but recently I've become a Canon guy.
You found the way. You've seen the light.
So I ended up buying this camera, and it's just kind of like my screw around travel camera, and I love it. I love it so much. The pictures it takes are so nice, and I wanted to recommend it to you guys as well. So I actually like brought up some photos. So we don't even work for Canon. I'm just gonna sell you guys on this camera.
Yeah. This funny. This man has like his life savings tied up in Leica analog cameras.
Yes.
And now we're gonna push like an old digital camera on.
All right. Here we go. Let's change this.
Eventually, I feel like in a couple of years, these are parts of things that they'll be priced like out of like they'll be unobtainium.
I don't know. I think they'll keep going down in price. And so part of the reason I bought this was because it's just so cheap. And it's got like kind of a nostalgia effect where like you don't realize it, but the cameras of this age have a certain look, and the 5D really embodies this like 2000s. The camera came out in 2005. So it really has this like look of like the 2000s, or like that you forgot that it existed, but once you go back and look at the pictures, you can really see it. So I chose some pictures. I don't know what's going on in this picture. It's interesting, but it has a very.
What happened to that dog?
I think it's just sleeping.
Sleeping.
But just look at some of the. And this is a camera that came out in 2005.
Mm-hmm.
It shoots on CF cards. It has a distinctive look, that like that old Canon full frame. It looks nice. The colors. Nice. I shot photos here. Last time I went to New York, I brought this camera. I took a bunch of photos, posted them on my Instagram. People were asking what camera. They're like, "Oh, the colors are so beautiful. Like, what camera did you use?" Like, it just takes.
Oh man, look at that one.
Really nice photos, Look
at the train tracks.
Like on the specs is not good. It doesn't have a lot of dynamic range, but it just has really nice feeling to it. And I just shoot JPEGs too. That's the nice thing. You don't have to
He's
edit.
not even shooting raw.
You don't even shoot raw. Just throw it on JPEG mode, and you just go. And
Wow.
it just takes these beautiful pictures. Like, it has a look to it. No, I think it looks really nice.
Oh, looking
Like
good.
really good resolution, very sharp. You put on a nice lens. It takes beautiful pictures. Oh, another rainbow shot. Maybe the same person. But yeah, just look at the kitty. Look at that.
Yeah, what a sweetie.
That's a nice photo. And it just kind of shows, like, you don't need to buy, like, the latest and greatest camera to make good photos. Like,
yeah.
you can go. So here, I spec'd it out here.
you have a bucket list.
Because I think I spent $200 on the body. This is KEH, by the way, not sponsored, but I do buy from KEH anyways. This is like an ad, but hey, I'm trying to give you pro tips.
The Garrett show and tell.
The Garrett show and tell.
This is to peer into his mind of boots and cameras.
No one can stop me. So Canon 5D, excellent condition, with battery and charge. Oh, no port covers. Anyways, $246. This camera cost, I think, $5,000 when it came out.
Yeah,
and that was like in 2005 or something. It was very expensive. If you want to go cheap, Canon 50mm 1.8, $62. Amazing lens. I have the 1.4. They didn't have it in stock on Cage, so I couldn't put it here, but it's about $200. Or you can get the big boy Canon 50mm 1.2. This is an amazing lens right here. Only $744, which is an absolute steal. I almost pulled the trigger. Me and Terry were at B&H. I was this close. I was like...
B&H is so cool.
I was going to buy it instead, but anyways. So basically, you know, for around $300 to $400 US, you can get one of these guys. A pro level camera with a beautiful lens on it.
Wait, did you buy this strap at B&H?
Yeah, I bought the strap at B&H.
Yeah.
It didn't come with the strap, so I just got this like Canon strap to go with it.
Yeah. Kept the period correct,
but
people.
Look how clean this thing is. It's like a brand new camera. Amazing. And then you put I have an 8 gig CF card in here. Over 1,000 photos. It's like unlimited space. You can just take pictures all day long. Perfect travel camera. Couldn't recommend it enough.
Fun story. When you got the camera, it came with an old firmware.
Oh yeah.
And it didn't support CF cards large. And how was it 2 gigs or something?
Yeah. When I got the camera, it had the original firmware on it, and then to update the camera, you have to put software on the CF card. Let me show them what a CF card is. You guys probably don't even know. So this
uses the IDE format, which is wild.
So this is a CF card. So it's kind of like the old standard for pro flash media.
Whoa, 8 gigs.
8 gigs, which was kind of big back in the day.
It was very big back in the day.
But anyways, it didn't recognize over, I think, 2 or 4 gigabytes cards, because it was like back then that was like the biggest they came.
It would have been under 4. It would have been under 4 gigs.
And so I needed to basically find a card that was small enough so I could put this software on, so I could get it into the camera, recognize it, download the software, update. Luckily, Terry's dad
came to the rescue. Big Canon man. So he's had like a collection of cameras throughout the years. So he bought a lot of these there. And like, you can't really, it's not so easy to buy like the smaller ones. Mm-hmm. But in our drawer of bits there, we had so many old CF cards, I think dating back to one of the old camera first point and clicks, like a PowerShot G1. Mm-hmm. I actually have 16 megabyte CF cards, and they're compatible.
Yeah.
And technically that's all it is. I think I gave you like a 32 megabyte.
Yeah, you gave me like a really small one so I could just fit that file on there and then update it. But the problem is I couldn't buy a CF card small enough to update it. Because you go on any photo website, the smallest one they have is like 8 gigs or 16 gigs, which is too big. On a modern
camera, like a single RAW is over 16 gigs, over 16 megs.
Yeah. You wouldn't even get one photo.
Yeah.
So anyways,
just a little nerdy thing there. I think CF cards are really cool there, and they're really cool in the world of vintage and legacy computing. Now we're getting really into the weeds, but we're not. I mean, we're already too deep here. But in the world...
and Terry are actually also like secret computer nerds.
yeah, secret nerds.
Like we used to both like run Linux and stuff.
Yeah. But in the world of vintage computing, CF cards are really cool because they're actually basically like little IDE drives. So you can actually use them with a very simple adapters to kind of run them on like ancient machines. And it really makes it easy because then you can just kind of plug in your little CF card into your modern machine, get your software on it, and then plug it into a tiny little adapter onto your vintage machine, whatever that may be. If we're talking 46 to 86, you know.
I personally
Olders.
like CF cards. I wish they didn't. I mean, I get why SD cards became the standard because the whole camera can become smaller itself. But I like the physical handling of the CF card just because it's bigger.
Feels nice in the hand.
Feels nice.
Yeah.
Feels right? It feels substantial. Like, you know, the SD card just feels so flimsy and tiny and like you're just going to lose it.
I'm jumping in there. Anodyne. Yes, we had a zip drive back at home with the 128 meg like zip cassette there. Whoa.
Okay.
Don't install top tip. Don't install Windows 95 and run it off a zip drive. It was slow. I had a friend who did that.
You know what's funny? Before we'll just get to snack time here. We have somebody else who works at the office here, and they were confused because they downloaded all their photos, like all the raw photos from the Sony, onto the NAS, onto the server, and they were trying to edit them in Photoshop from the server, and they're like, "How come everything is running so slow?" And I'm like, "You have to do it locally." You can't have it on the server.
Just like one magic computer.
Yeah. Every time it tries to do something, it's downloading the whole file.
I guess technically, if we were a pro production environment, we would have like 10 gig NAS and stuff like that.
Yes, but we definitely, it's on Wi-Fi.
And people would be editing off like, I don't know, like a network store, like,
yeah.
Like a Linus Tech Tips or something. Those guys have a crazy setup there. They got like 10 gig NAS, and they have like 10 editors working off like the same raw footage at once and stuff to pump out content. But like, they're a media company. That's what we do. We make jeans, but also some videos on the side.
Yeah, and I'm just working on my iMac.
You're just working on the iMac.
Okay. So let's just hop in. We'll answer these last few questions, and then we're gonna get to snack time, so we can skedaddle.
We'll bring it back to denim. We'll bring it back to denim. As much that breaks my heart, 'cause I could talk about this old computer stuff all day.
Women's sizing going to include longer inseam? No, I think we're gonna have actually shorter inseams in general on the women's stuff, more or less moving forward, just because everyone had to get things hemmed a lot, and no one was asking for long inseams really.
Yeah.
When is the Forever Black selvage coming out? Later. I don't know when. I don't have that on the schedule yet.
This year, though, I think.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming for this season. Huntsman Dead Stock. It's also coming. I don't have a date on that, but
yeah, I kind of missed it for the Black Friday, but we're gonna try and circle back.
It's on the way. The fabric exists, so. Anodyne says he has a Mark II. Mark II also very nice, but to me, there's just something about the 5D Classic.
Yeah,
the
Mark
JPEGs
II.
on it are just something about it.
I have the JPEGs.
Yeah. Would you guys ever put an embroidered patch on your denim, or is that a sin? I wouldn't say it's a sin.
It's not a sin,
but it's not really in our DNA to do that.
Yeah, not really in the DNA, and like I definitely know. We'll probably never do it. Brandon really like feels very strong about this, so knowing that it would like.
I'm a leather patch man myself.
Yeah, he would never do that.
Yeah. Steven says DSLR versus mirrorless. DSLR every day. I hate mirrorless cameras. They're not even smaller. The whole thing when the mirrorless cameras came out, where they're like, oh, they're gonna be smaller, they're gonna be so much better, the autofocus. I don't think they're any better. The Sony we have, the A7 Mark III, I hate it. It's a potato. Like, it takes nice pictures, but the color science is horrible, autofocus is horrible, the lens is huge. It's not any smaller than a DSLR. I'm an old school guy. I like, the optical viewfinder. The only caveat, I have shot on one mirrorless camera, and I know this is getting into the camera show, but I'll be real quick.
It's the camera show.
My friend has a Leica SL2S. That camera I do like. I would buy that mirrorless camera because the viewfinder is amazing on it. But that's the only one. Or maybe SL3. I thought your Leica M was your everyday camera. Have you moved on from Leica? No way, John Chan. My Leica is I still have a bunch of Leicas, and I'll never move on. They're my forever cameras.
Like, if you catch Garrett on the street on a regular day, he'll have his Leica, like as his EDC.
Yeah, that's my EDC, exactly.
Yeah, the zip and drum.
Okay. All right. I think it's time for snack time. Terry, what did you bring today?
All right, we got a little bit of a cheeky snack time over here. This one is just something, again, I picked it up on my sojourn off to the Mississauga, Toronto land. And I admit I bought these treats based solely upon the name on the box. I thought it was pretty funny. So, ladies and gentlemen, say hello to the dark fantasy big. What is your dark fantasy over here?
The first thing I'm
Big.
noticing is the box has a very specific shape
Yes, very specific. Like
and size.
the gold text,
The gold text,
the big,
the black,
We just need a picture of like a pachyderm on here or something like that.
or like an elephant or a horse or something.
Yeah, the smart boy. Anyway, but that's that's something else. That's something else.
I think that's what they were going for with this.
Yeah. Anyway, these are made in India, which is kind of cool.
Interesting.
So we're gonna try these Indian dark fantasy bigs, and we'll rip them open. We'll see what it's like.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're in the Toronto land, the GTA, if you will.
The
Okay.
packaging not too good.
I tried both ends. This is not frustration proof.
They tried. At least they tried.
Oh, are these individually packed?
Ooh, it's very Japanese almost. Wow.
Have a dark fantasy big.
Thanks. There you go.
The dark.
Fantasy big.
The
Coffee fills. I wonder if there's caffeine in this.
The coffee beans would seem to imply yes.
Maybe.
There's also a lot of palm oil.
Palm oil.
Good
palm
old-fashioned
oil.
palm oil.
Healthy.
Wait.
Don Chaco. Mirrorless does not equal full frame. That is true.
All right. There we
But
go.
even the full frame mirrorless, don't particularly like it.
It just looks like a little cookie.
Oh, it's very fragrant.
Extremely fragrant. It smells like an actual cup of instant coffee.
Yeah, it smells very instant coffee,
Smells like
like
instant coffee.
the fake coffee smell.
Yeah.
Or like the smell of coffee ice cream.
Yeah, or yeah,
You know?
like that, like coffee flavor smell.
It smells like coffee flavor with the vanilla, like coffee creamer, coffee flavor. The
All right.
vanilla is definitely coming on strong. Okay.
All right, time for the
Cheers.
dark fantasy. Cheers.
Oh,
Mm.
I was expecting to be more liquidy. So there's a light filling. I think most of it got absorbed into the cookie.
They're not expired,
Not expired.
but getting there.
I would say
These are pretty good.
these
These are pretty good.
they're not bad, but I would like a little bit more moisture. Or at
They
least
feel-
I'd
they feel
want
like
to
a
drink.
little. They could be like the slightly stale.
I could have this with maybe like a glass of milk
Mm-hmm.
or something. Would
A little dry, but if there's even like a slight bit more squish to the cookie, it'd be great.
Anodyne says breaking news. The Dark Fantasy Big has been discontinued.
Oh no, the curse.
I wouldn't be sad if it was discontinued.
The thing is, I could probably eat two of these and not feel bad. If I ate two cherry blossoms back to back, I'm not gonna feel great. I like it.
No, 2 cherry blossoms back to back is a horrible idea. There you go. It almost looks like tar on the inside. It's like
That's the palm oil.
very almost not black, but almost black. I'm
Yeah.
gonna finish this, but to be honest, I don't think I'm ever gonna want to have another one.
Are you not gonna go back to Toronto and buy the Dark Fantasy Big? It implies that maybe there's like a Dark Fantasy like original.
Maybe somebody else's fantasy, but it's not mine.
It's not your fantasy. This was not your fantasy. Also try. Yeah. Anyway, I thought that was fun. I mean, like, I'm absolutely the type of guy to go into like any market or store. Like, whenever I travel, when I go anywhere, run into a store and just buy something based upon a cool looking box and absolutely take it for a little rip. Give it a shot. Try it out.
Hey Tristan, Tristan's in the chat.
Is that our Tristan?
Everyone, give a big shout out to Tristan. Tristan's the guy who does all the measurement. Well, not all. A lot of the measurement charts. So,
that yeah, that is our Tristan.
yeah.
Hey
So,
Tristan, are you coming to work tomorrow?
No, he's not.
Okay.
He's teaching. Unfortunately, we've been missing Tristan dearly.
Yeah, he's in
in the
grad
office.
school. He's in grad school.
We really love having Tristan here. He works on Saturdays and Fridays. So if you want, no, does he work Saturdays? Yes.
Yeah, it's Saturdays now.
Saturdays now.
Come
So,
by the store. Check it out.
If you've been into the store at Tatinyoko, good chance you met Tristan.
Oh, he's been there for a long time now.
Yeah, Tristan's a good boy. We love Tristan. He
Yes.
misses us too.
Technically been here longer than you.
Yeah, he's worked here a little bit longer than me.
We had him like his whole adult life. He's been over here working for us.
Okay, yes, that's pretty much true. All right, well, I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in and sticking around. As always, it's a pleasure. I love doing this. Terry loves doing it as well.
This was a real
and I hope-
show and tell episode, too.
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope I didn't bore you guys too much with the boots talk or the camera
boots
talk.
and the cameras there.
But hey,
Yeah, tune in next time for Vintage Computing. Actually, don't. Next week, I got a little bit of announcement. I won't be here for
oh yeah.
next.
Also, I won't be here, so there will be no episode next week.
Are we pulling a plug?
Well, there is no one to do it.
Oh yeah.
I won't be here. You won't be here.
Aw.
Next week. I will be in New York. So like I said, I'm gonna plug it one last time. Come to New York, or if you're in New York already, Wednesday 29th, 7 p.m. 123 Grand Street. Be there, and
Yeah.
we'll have real life live stream.
New York live stream. Yeah, I'm gonna be.
We're gonna have an offline podcast where we just talk, no recording.
It'll be great. Yeah, you'll see some cool other names. Hopefully, some other familiar faces on the YouTube.
Yeah, there'll be some YouTubers there. I think there's
Yeah.
of course me, Brandon, the regulars, all the New York boys,
Yeah,
the New
it'll
York
be good.
crew.
I wish I was there. I will be spending 2 weeks and a bit in lovely Taiwan with my wife and the in-laws celebrating Lunar New Year, which of course is next week on the 20th and 29th. I'll just be like eating like a king and trying to not get gout.
Good luck.
Yeah, check it out there. Maybe hang out at some local denim stores there. I know we have another store that sells our stuff. But yeah, I'll be in Taiwan for 2 weeks, so I'll see you guys in 3 weeks. And yeah, maybe I'll post some pictures on my Instagram or something of me eating like soup dumplings and all that type of stuff. Getting those tropical fades.
I'm gonna be jealous. Anyways,
That's right. Sinyan Kuai
yes. So thank you so much for tuning in. Of course, don't forget to hit the like button if you haven't already. Please subscribe, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye,
Bye-bye.
everybody.